Continuing the 2026 NHL trade deadline recap, in this deal we saw Corey Perry being traded back to the Tampa Bay Lightning. This was a pretty simple deal. It was the Tampa Bay Lightning acquiring 40-year-old winger Corey Perry in exchange for a 2028 second-round pick. So Corey Perry, he's at the age of 40 now, but he's still a pretty effective player. 11 goals, 28 points in 50 games for the Kings this season. The Kings also retained 50% of his contract, so he has a $1 million cap hit, which is important for the newly added playoff salary cap. If you're a hockey fan, I'm sure you're aware of Corey Perry's game. Once was a superstar for the Anaheim Ducks, dealt with some injuries. Eventually his contract was bought out. It seemed like he was cooked, but ever since that, when he signed with the Dallas Stars, he had a sort of career revival. And I think the reason for that is just because of the way he plays. He was never really a great skater, but he's super crafty, has really good hands, and just a high hockey IQ. He's a pest out there, an agitator. He gets under the other team's skin, but he also plays a very effective brand of hockey. Pretty good on the cycle. He goes to the net, gets rebounds, deflections, and he brings so much experience. He's third all time in playoff games played. Plus, for the Tampa Bay Lightning, you know Corey Perry. He played for this team in 2022 and 2023, went to the finals with them. He can slot into the bottom six. John Cooper knows him well. He could play on the top power play unit if there's an injury or something. Look at him last year on the Oilers. He was on their top unit in the finals. Now, it does suck that Corey Perry was the only deal they were able to make, but they're so depleted on assets. They spent a bunch on the Bjorkstrand-Gord trade last year. They have a couple decent prospects like Sam O'Reilly, and there's this Finnish player as well who I'm going to talk about in a video soon, but not really anything that could make a blockbuster deal. It's definitely the time to go all in the East because Carolina didn't do anything at the deadline, and the Florida Panthers are probably going to bounce back next season when they're fully healthy. So this is the opportunity to make a Stanley Cup Finals run for Tampa, and even though they didn't make any more additions, Perry's some solid depth for this team. And I think they're good enough to make the finals once again. So as a trade grade for Tampa, I'm going to go with a B+. And for the Kings, you get the 2028 second, which is actually potentially valuable considering Tampa is kind of old and they might fall off slightly by then. Overall, the Kings had an interesting deadline. They added Lawton, traded Perry and Fogle. But I think a second round pick for a 40-year-old expiring contract is really great value. So I'm going to give them an A on this deal. And with that being said, thank you so much for watching. Let me know your thoughts on this deal down below, and I'll see you in the next video.